Hi, my name is Emily, and I'm so excited that you're in this session today. I want to give you a little bit of information about myself and some of my qualifications so you know how I can help you better. So, I graduated with my major in social work from Liberty University, and I'm currently pursuing my master's in social work through Liberty as well online. So, before we get started today, I do want to go over a couple of the forms that you signed before you began this session today. So, do you remember signing a form called Informed Consent? It was probably about 2 pages long and asked for your signature at the back. Do you remember filling that out? Okay, awesome. Were you able to get a chance to read through the form and kind of remember some of the material that I was going over? Okay, no worries at all. I want to take a few minutes to go over informed consent. There's a lot of details that are involved within it, so I want to break it down in a way that's really easy to understand and make sure that we cover all of that before we get started with our session today. So, with informed consent, there's something called limits of confidentiality. So, there's a general understanding that the information that you share will remain some level of confidential between me and you. So, I'm not going to be going around and sharing the information from your session with other people. However, there are a couple specific situations in which I will have to get some other people involved to ensure the safety of yourself and others. So I'm going to go over those specific situations and then see if you have any questions afterwards. So definitely please ask questions if you're a little confused. So we're going to start with the first one. I'm what's called a mandated reporter. So this means that I have the obligation to report if you disclose to me that you know of a child or an elder or someone who's incapacitated who is suffering from neglect or abuse. So I am required to get some other people involved in this situation just to make sure that everyone is safe and okay. So that's going to be one of the situations. The second situation is I have the duty to warn and protect. So this is just a super fancy way for saying if you disclose to me that you are planning intimate harm to yourself or someone else, we're gonna have to slow things down a little bit and go do an overall assessment and get some other people involved just to make sure that you're safe and that everyone else is safe as well. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions? Okay, awesome. So we're going to cover the last two. There are some situations in which my notes from our session can be subpoenaed by the court. So this means that the court can actually take my notes and use them in a court session. So, for example, this could happen maybe if you're involved in a custody battle for children, or maybe your character is being called to witness at the stand. So, a lot of times they'll use those notes for my sessions. However, this is very unlikely. This doesn't happen a lot, but I do kind of just want to let you know about that in case it does happen and you're not caught off guard. And then the last one is I use a tool called supervision and consultation. So, say for example, we have a session, and at the end of it, after you leave, I'm a little stumped on further resources to offer you to make sure that we're continuing to make progress and that you're feeling good about the progress that we make. So, I would go to my supervisor and ask for their advice. My supervisor has been doing this a lot longer than I have, and they have some really valuable insight that they could potentially offer me that I could give you to kind of continue to help you feel really good after our sessions and feel like, again, like I mentioned, that you're making a lot of progress. So just so you know, the supervisor works in this building as well. They also have access to all the notes too, but they will not be sharing any of the information we share in our sessions outside of this agency. So, those are the main forms of our limits of confidentiality that go with informed consent. So, now that we got through all of that, I do want to ask if you have any questions about that. Okay, awesome. Well, I do want to let you know that if there is ever a situation in which I do need to break confidentiality, I will always let you know first, so that way you're not surprised if other people begin to get involved within this case and within this session. So I just want to let you know that. But I'm super excited to get to know you a little bit better and talk about some of the reasons that brought you into counseling today. So, so nice to officially meet you face to face.